Hello, I want to talk today about the big floods that happened in Spain last week, among all Spain, but especially in Valencia, that is the community showed in the map, and within all this area that we see here marked in orange. And as you can see, the actual city of Valencia is not as damaged as all the southern part. And this is important. We will talk about why. But first, I want to show you some pictures and videos of what happened. Of course, a lot of people recorded very scary things. This is the first video that actually I saw. I never have seen before a bridge being taken like this in Spain. We can see a lot of water starting to grow and having more water depth. We can see people are starting to struggling to walk. And of course, a lot of people have been dragged by the water or have been trapped in parking lots. We can see this amazing picture of the tornado. We can see the cars starting to be dragged. We can see this stream with a lot of strength that was later on overflowed. Yeah, and more videos of cars being dragged. They have been actual from actual piles that have blocked the streets. So people were actually there to unlock the streets and to clean the mud. There is still a lot of mud everywhere. I just want to show last one video of of a success case in the sense that this woman and her dog were actually saved from the flood by a helicopter. But yeah, I want to show all of this too, so we learn, and I also want to put some numbers and perspective on how big this event has been, because this event so far has had more than 200 casualties and 90, almost 90 people missing, 89. This is this is this is heartbreaking. This is more than 200, more than 300 stories of people that are struggling. And if we look at our history and on hydraulic catastrophes, we are going to talk, for example, a big example is the dam break of Lago with more than 100 dead in 59. Also, the dam break in Toes in the year 82 with 40 dead people. Also, the camp in Viescas, more recent in the year 96 with 89 casualties. This is this is of course also like really bad events, but we can see the magnitude of what happened in Valencia that is more than double of the magnitude of all these things that have marked our history. So this case of Valencia will and must see be an example of how to deal with the hydraulic solutions and dealing with nature in upcoming years, not only for Spain but for the world. Let's just take this as an example to improve. And I want to talk about what happened here. What are the cause of this disaster? First of all, the increase in construction on flood prone areas, and let's see this in pictures. So if we look at these maps, we can see here the area. So here will be the city of Valencia. Okay, we can also see it here in this map. And if we zoom out, we can see all these mountains here. That when it rains, all sediments are dragged, and all this plain that we have here, that we can see here in green, is lowlands that have been formed by sediment transport. So this is an area that has whose morphology is actually created by floods. So it's an area that naturally within years have been flooded. And if we look closely also to this lagoon, to this albufera, um, we can see that it's been formed by how this sediment encounter the strength of the sea, because we have from the west coming all this sediment from the mountains, and for the east coming the strength of the sea, creating this natural barrier that closes this little lagoon. And around all this lagoon is where all these damaged areas have happened. But if we look closer to, for example, Porta, that is one of the most affected towns, and we can see here a picture of how Porta is at the moment, but we could see also a picture of how Porta was in 69. I'm gonna put this picture here. Yeah, yeah. So we can see the growth in this and on this not only housing but also industry and of course transport network, while the space of the river has not increased as much. So this is an example with historic images of what how of the growth that we can see in this area. Let's go to number two. The lack of protected hydraulic structure. What I mean by this? If we look at the case of Valencia here, there was a flood a few years back, and what they did was this channel derivation towards the south that has diverted the water of Turia River, that before will go this way, to the south. And this is why all the city of Valencia has been protected, as we can see in this image. We can see how this hydraulic structure has managed to protect the city. But we have seen all the growth in Porta, in Catarroja, and all these southern regions, while not hydraulic structure have been created. But I want also to show that we do have this information. We do have the maps in Spain that are telling us, okay, these areas are problematic. We shall do something. But this lack of, I would say, governmental strength to push forward the project has made that these solutions are going to come late. Yeah. So let's go to number three, that are the population growth. In Porta, of course, this growth in construction has made that the population increase from 50,000 to 27,000. This is a lot in 20 years. Yes, we have more people living in natural flooding areas, not only here, but among all the world. And we have to bring awareness to this. The fourth is that we have had a rainfall event exceeding the expected amount for 500-year period, so a lot. We talk about 600 millimeter in 4 hours in some areas, not all the areas, but this number it's been reached in specific points. And number five, there has been a problem with a lack of emergency alerts. The meteorological agency did know that this event will happen, but the alert came late. The the government did not send the message at time to the people. And also later on, to bring help to these communities has brought some social anger because there was some disagreement between governmental organizations. But I don't want to talk about politics. I want to talk also now how we can make this not happening again. And I'm going to talk about giving space to rivers. As we can see here, we have channeled in a lot of European cities and villages, and it is important that they are wide. Wide, so when the flood comes, there is enough space to the water not to overflow, to increase to reach the population. Because if we have something like this, as we had in some cases in Valencia, in Barranco del Pollo, it has been overflowed, reaching the communities. But not only this, let's not focus only in local scale. What if we look in a catchment scale? Okay, what happened upstream? Because we are changing all the time the land use. If we keep upstream the lagoons, the forest, green areas, river braided areas, football fields. When the flood comes, the water upstream can get wider, and this can be filtered. There can be it can be infiltration to the ground. But if instead of this, as we can see in many places, we block the water from coming out, what we are doing is we transport the problem downstream, and it will overflow harder in the area downstream. Yeah, and I don't wanna, but I will leave this video also as a link if you are interested. I will share some links that I consider very interesting. But I want to create this video so people see what has created this problem, and not only that, to raise awareness that flooding areas are natural. Uh, and we shall also protect these ecosystems. And I hope this just serves as an example and help for all hydraulic engineers and people working in the field for the future. Thank you very much.